Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our episodes. Tonight, we're talking about Ready to Love, episode number 2. I believe this is season number 9. Ready to Love, episode number 2. We get to meet the other 10 singles, right? The other 10 singles from Ready to Love, if you know from last week, we saw the first 10, right? The first batch. They're doing something different this year, right? They're giving us the singles or introducing us to the singles at a different rate, right? They gave us 10 last week, 10 this week, so we get to meet these new 10 new singles. First up, well, man, we meet Vanessa, right? Vanessa's 35 years old. She's a flight attendant. She was married before, but she was married to a white guy. And that's going to be, I want to see how that plays out in this episode. Married to a white guy, nothing to do with it. If it's your flavor, it's your flavor. But now she's down for the black culture, right? Talking about she can go Black Panther on the people. Black Panther on a brother. So my question, if you go Black Panther on a brother now, and you came to yourself, why did you marry the white guy? Well, we find out. Hopefully we find out during the season why she married a white guy. Vanessa, like I said, she was married. She got divorced in 2019. So she's been divorced just for a little while. And we'll get back to Vanessa a little bit later when we talk about my man Chaz, because Chaz and Vanessa, well, let's do it now. Chaz and Vanessa, we met Chaz later on. Chaz is 47. He's a data analytics manager. Look, Chaz was feeling Rashina. Chaz opened up a little bit to Rashina. Chaz told Rashina that he had lost a baby at 6 months, that he does want to be married. And the reason that he had not tried again was because of the fear of losing a son, right, at 6 months old. And we talked about this on one of the panels that I have. And this is not a miscarriage situation, but this is a son that you gave birth to, a son that you brought home. The girl gave birth to, she brought her home, and now they enjoy each other. But the baby dies. That's totally different. That's something that people don't think about, how men do have emotion and men are vulnerable. So Chaz was real vulnerable to Rashina when he told her that. But Chaz and Vanessa had a conversation really earlier, and he really opened up to her. They really had a great communication between each other, and they was feeling each other. She was real vulnerable. She's real, she reminds me of Liz a little bit from the Houston season, real Southern, real religious base, wanted to take it slow and make sure she has it right this time. So that was Chaz. Chaz and Vanessa, hopefully that will mature and go into something just a little bit different here, right? We'll see how that goes. Before I'm going to open up, the men are in charge today, right? So it was 6 men. 6 men was in charge. There are 4 guys, 6 women, and one of the women has to go home after this episode. We also meet Patrice. She's a 35-year-old tech recruiter. We meet her. We meet Alonzo. Alonzo is 35 years old. He's an insurance adjuster. Alonzo loves having fun. He's a little bit awkward. We see that when he's talking to the women, that he has a awkwardness about him, right? He was sitting on the couch talking to 2 women and didn't know how to go deep. He's talking about let's go deeper. He didn't know how to go deep in this relationship or in this communication with the women that he was trying to go deep with. He's weird, but he found a match, right? He found a match, somebody that he can deal with, and her name was Patrice, right? Patrice is 42 years old. Patrice is light-skinned, tatted up, tattoos. Patrice is a transportation company owner. She mentioned while she was in the group with the rest of the guys that she created a sex toy, right? I guess sex toy, Kegel, toy, $30,000 toy that helps you with your pelvic stuff, right? Kegel, 2,000 Kegels per minute. I believe that's what she says. Some people use it for health to strengthen their pelvic, and some use it for other things. But again, it was the Kegel machine that she said she created. She liked young guys. She enjoys skating. She also been in a relationship. She was married. She was in a relationship for 18 years. She said she hadn't been in a relationship for 18 years, but she was married for 4, and they was together for 7. The math was a math in here. I was trying to figure out what she was saying. I had to ask Jack, hey, is this math right? Nah. So basically, she really ain't been in a relationship. Her last relationship was when she was 24, and I'm figuring that was her ex-husband, who they were dating for 7 years. They was only married for 4, and then got a divorce. And I figured that she hasn't been in a relationship since. I was kind of confused. I hope I explained that right. But that's what she was saying. The math was a method. We have so her and Alonzo really hit it off very, very well. So they had a good time, good conversation, and good talking. We have Rashina, who's a 38-year-old salon owner. She's married, been divorced with 2 boys. She's divorced with 2 boys. Very outspoken. She's hit the different styles. A very pretty lady. She has great communication, and she's looking like she knows what she wants out of this married at first sight experience. Only time will tell, and we'll see how things will play out with her as well. So we go back to meet some of the people. We had Maya. Maya is a healthcare IT. Didn't really go much into Maya on this episode, but she is pretty. A lot of the guys, Jonathan was really impressed with her. Jonathan really liked her. It was what she feels. She came with a lime green dress on, and it was banging, right? She was giving body, as my 19-year-old daughter would say. She was giving some body, and again, Maya was giving what she needed to give. And the men enjoyed it, right? The men enjoyed it. Then we have Laylan, right? Laylan is a 40-year-old cybersecurity person. She is from Sierra Leone. Where we found out Jonathan was one of the men. He's from Nigeria. So they were able to speak with each other, a little African, a little bit there, and able to talk. Everybody was feeling Laylan, because when it came, when it came to the men having to pick who they like, right? Who they want to be with, every man says Layla's name. So she's very popular, right? She's very popular this season. She's one of those people that, hey, if you like her, you like her. And she's going to get a lot of attention in this season of Ready to Love. I believe Layla is going to get a lot of attention from a lot of men. She's already getting a lot of attention from a lot of the men. A very beautiful dark green dress, and was giving everything the men enjoyed in this episode. Very smart lady as well. Then we had Jonathan. Jonathan is a 36-year-old recycling center owner. As I mentioned, he's from Nigeria. He was married for 2.5 years. He has 1 child. And he learned his relationship styles, or he learned what loving and how to be a man, and learned all this from watching TV. He watched Martin and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He learned how his relationship, right? How to handle relationships. So, this is going to be interesting, right? Because Jonathan is a very popular guy. Everybody likes Jonathan. Smooth talker, real thin guy, as I mentioned, from Nigeria. Can communicate very well. Mentioned that he was shy at one point in his life, that he didn't communicate well, and that's why one of his relationship went downhill. But he now learns how to communicate, and you wouldn't know that he wasn't a good communicator. As I mentioned, he's also involved in the family business. So we'll see how Jonathan plays out a little bit later. Jonathan was one of those guys that, everybody likes Jonathan right now. He's given their attention, right? He has their attention. Then we run into Lamar. I'm going to call Lamar the Habibi of the season. Lamar is the Habibi of the season, man. Lamar's 42 years old. He's a DJ / used to be a high school coach. He's divorced with teenage boys. He was sitting down talking to Vanessa, and I believe, I can't remember the other lady's name they were talking to. He was sitting with Vanessa, and I want to say Rashina. And they was talking about first dates. And he was like talking about, are they adventurous? Are they spontaneous? And both of them like, we kind of think about things and about before we go through it. Rashina kind of leaned to the spontaneity of what Lamar was talking about. Then he breaks out like, if we go on a first date, can we go to a nude beach? They're like, huh? What? A nude beach on the first date? Like, that's something that you desire. That's something that you want to look. Vanessa was totally turned off at that point. Like, she's like, I'm not dealing with this dude. This dude is off the chart, right? This dude is way, way out there. He didn't want to, but I don't know if it was a lot of it was for shock factor, right? Like, do you really want to say this to me when you first meeting somebody or you're getting to know these young ladies? Even though that you're in charge for the day, not in charge, but you're the one who gets allowed to send people home. Do you really want to be like, hey, you're in, let's go to a nude beach. That's the first date? That's not the type of first date that you want to have, right? And even if that's the type of first date that you want to have, you don't mention it on the show if you want to stick around, right? I believe that if the woman was in charge, dude would have been gone, right? Lamar would have been the one that's out of here. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. He is the type of dude, that has a lot of red flags from what I've seen, right? He is going overboard. And when all the women get together and when all the people get together, that he may not be one that sticks around too much longer, right? Unless I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but bruh is going a little bit to the left. Would have been something I would have discussed when first meeting these women about going to a nude beach. He just wanted to take it too far. I wasn't saying disrespectful because he wasn't disrespectful. It was just shocking for him to be able to put that information out there like that. So the girls, if you watched episode 1, you saw there was a game, right? And basically, how well do you know other people? So Tommy did the exact same thing over here. He played a game. The game was called Good on Paper, right? The women had to answer questions about the men based off what they discussed. And the woman that was the woman who won the game will not be eliminated, right? Wouldn't be eliminated from this episode. So, wouldn't be eliminated from the episode. And like, they was answering questions. I think they got the first one wrong. And then it came down to 2. It came down to the very final question. And it came down between Maya and I think Patricia. Maya and Patrice that it came down to. And Maya won. Maya won the question with answering the question about Jonathan. And so she will not be eliminated. I thought the women did well on this game. And I was sitting here watching, maybe y'all help me out. I was like, man, some of these women don't know these dudes at all. But if it was the guy who didn't know the women, I was like, kind of pathetic. I think the same way. Women, if you're in conversation or you're engaged with somebody and you don't know too much about them, at least none of the women had 0, like the men did last week. If you watched the episode last week, some of the men had 0. They didn't get any questions right. Some of the women this week got questions right, but they wasn't in the top. They didn't get that many. And so, not so much backlash for the fact, but I think if you're in a conversation with somebody for hours, you should know something about them, right? And some of the questions were very simple because it was just like, we're spot on, word on for what the guys said. So we get to that. Tommy meet with all the guys once again. Maya won. Tommy meets with all the guys, telling that she couldn't be eliminated, that she could not be eliminated. And they meet and they talk. They deliberate about who they like and who they don't like. And people that they don't like, Patricia name came up a lot. That's the tech person. And Vanessa's name came up a little bit as well. But ultimately, it was Patricia, who went home. Guys just felt like she wasn't ready to love. Just couldn't dig in deep. She was kind of weird asking questions. At one point, she asked the guys about sucking toes, right? Do you suck toes? And some of the guys said yes. Alonzo said, I believe Alonzo said he was willing. He sucked toes. And there was another one. I can't remember the guy who said they would suck toes too. But then she was, that's disgusting. Why ask the question, right? And when you get the answer, you're like, that's disgusting. What do you want to know it for, right? It doesn't mean anything to you, does it? Like, I was confused by her question, and she just seemed a little bit awkward there. Like she didn't fit into the place or didn't groove with everyone else. So ultimately, she wasn't ready to love. Next week, we see all the rest of the people, right? 18 people merge back together because we know that one man has already been eliminated or one woman has already been eliminated. And now we merge the group together. And this season looks like there's going to be a lot of fireworks. Fireworks in this season of Married at First Sight. You guys let me know what you think about this episode. Did they eliminate the right person? What's your thoughts on Lamar? Do you see a connection between Vanessa and Chaz? Will it go? How far will it go? What do you think about Alonzo and Patrice? Alonzo a little awkward, as I mentioned earlier, weird with some of the women. He's not available, not ready to go deep into conversation, right? Not ready to go deep into here. It's a lot of personalities in this season of Ready to Love Fort Worth. I'm gonna call it as I call it. They say Dallas. I'm gonna say Dallas. I'm gonna say Fort Worth. It's a lot of characters. A lot of personalities. I'm gonna keep it that way. Interested to see where it goes. Hey, make sure before I wrap this up, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification. If I missed anything or got anything wrong, please leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for rocking with us. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and we'll catch you later. Peace.